In the 20s, cycling was very, very glamorous. I mean, they were idolized, the bike riders. My dad never once in New York City ever had to pay for dinner at a restaurant. They were so happy to have him there. The sponsorships were big then. Like, he was sponsored by Chrysler Automobiles and Camel cigarettes.
The atmosphere was absolutely unbelievable. You had more stars on the infield performing. You had packed arenas. Another thing that I think was very important, at that time, you know, before the Olympics become very popular on television, you had a cross-section of the world. You had guys from Italy. You had guys from Switzerland, Germany, France, England, all over, and plus your great American bike riders, plus the fact that so many different nationalities lived in New York. You had the Germans, you had the Italians, you had the French, and of course everybody had their hero.
In 1920, Prohibition banning the sale of alcoholic beverages closed saloons nationwide. The 19th Amendment to the Constitution granted women the right to vote. Young women, dubbed flappers, now smoked in public and went out unaccompanied to nightclubs where men and women danced the Charleston. With New York City's 11,000 saloons out of business, at least officially, Sixdays enjoyed a surge of customers.
You had singing and music, song plugging, you know. And in those days, the nightclubs closed at 12, and then they all come over to the garden. And it had those little Dixie band in the boxes. It used to be a hell of a show.
Tex Rickard, now managing the world boxing heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey, moved to the bright lights of New York City. He discovered that the Sixers averaged more than 100,000 paying customers. They packed the Garden in the December 1919 Six, won by Goulet and his partner. Rickard took over as president of the Garden, his palace of play. He renewed his acquaintance with Chapman and appointed Chapman the Garden's vice president. Rickard also doubled ticket prices for the Garden Sixes. The best seats sold for up to $6.60. He boosted the Garden purse from $10,000 to $50,000.
And instead of having one race in either November or December every year, he would also introduce a March event, so that there would be a March event and a December event, in other words, twice a year. And this really got the six-day races going in 1920. They were so big and so popular that Tex Rickard arranged to pay Alf Goulet $1,000 a day in appearance money.
New York City's Madison Square Garden held the Super Bowl of Sixes. The launch of a rider suddenly shooting from the rolling pack to steal a lap set off a chase called a jam. The others on the track reacted immediately. It took only 10 seconds to dash around the oval, 10 laps to the mile, 176 yards. Meanwhile, team trainers scrambled to find partners on their break, eating or napping. Trainers rushed them onto the oval to take over the chase. Each team had a rider tearing around the track, pedaling for all he was worth. The other partner rode slowly high up on the oval. He waited for the right time to dash down the steep bank at top speed and take over. The crowd of spectators who packed the building jumped to their feet and shouted encouragement. The building transformed into a riot of noise and vibrated with excitement. The New York Times reported in March 1921, men and women enthusiasts thrilled by the spectacle of the cyclists tearing around the pine saucer at breakneck speed yelled themselves hoarse in a din which transformed the Garden into bedlam. During the 20s, noted Fortune magazine, the Sixes frequently grossed $250,000 inside a week. They rated as one of the Garden's most consistent profit makers.